Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the AI Learning Lab. It is, what day is it? Wednesday, July 5th. Yesterday was the 4th. Hey, Tobias, what's happening? What's happening? Welcome to the AI Learning Lab. I had an AI salon tonight, so that's why I'm getting a late start. For those of you betting on my start times, yeah, cheers. I'm here. I'm not going to stay that long tonight. It'll be a short one tonight. We're not doing a 3-hour marathon. Welcome everybody. This is the AI Learning Lab. My name is Kyle Shannon. While everyone's coming in, the URLs you see on screen here are things you should go play with. If you have not played with ChatGPT, go there. Go to that top one. That's the what's that called? That's the official ChatGPT website. If you've never played with it, go play with it. And if that scares you, then go to Bing. That's Microsoft search engine, and click on the chat button. That's also ChatGPT. And then if that scares you, then go to Poe. That's got 6 different things you can play with. Hello from Arizona. Hey, Leah, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Holy crap, a bunch of people just showed up. Welcome, everyone. My name is Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. I am a entrepreneur and a self-styled TikTok comedian. I don't know. I'm talking about this AI shit. I started 12 or 15 companies. I'm currently the CEO and co-founder of a company called Storyvine, which is an 11-year-old, hey, Silver Fox, 11-year-old company that does automated video production. Super sexy. But we don't really use AI. We've been around for 11 years. We're just now starting to roll AI into the platform. So interesting times, fascinating times. I had an AI salon tonight, so I'm getting a bit of a late start. The way this works, pop some questions down below. I'll do my best to answer questions. I'm happy to talk about my background. A little bit of potentially relevant history of my background is I was one of the innovators in the early days of the World Wide Web. I was a co-founder of a company called agency.com, which was one of the early digital agencies in the mid-90s. And when I stumbled upon this thing called the World Wide Web, I had kind of this major epiphany, like, holy shit, the world just changed. And so I started agency.com, and sure enough, the World Wide Web changed the world. And, being a part of that from kind of the early days and taking it up through the madness, I didn't think I'd have a chance in my life to see another one of those show up. And then generative AI showed up, and I'm like, holy shit, this is like one of those, except bigger. So anyway, that's what this channel's about. I am not a machine learning guy. I'm not an engineer, scientist, data scientist. But I would call myself an early adopter of especially technologies that I think are significant and profound. And I think this stuff is significant and profound. And it's coming way faster than that World Wide Web stuff did. So if you've got questions, pop them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. And let's get started. I just took my sleep meds because I didn't think you were on. Well, that's to see, now you put me on, it's like a double dose of sleep meds. So you'll be out in no time. Just the dulcet tones of Kyle Shannon going on and on about, this ChatGPT thing, it could be something, I hear it's going to be exciting and it's going to be transformative. People might lose their jobs. It could destroy us all. So, how can AI help with daughter studying on her last year of medical school? She's constantly studying. It could potentially offer her ways to sift through things she's got to study. It could come up with flashcards. It could she could take something that she's trying to learn, paste that into ChatGPT, and have it come up with creative ways of teaching it to her. Right? So she could say, here's a bunch of shit I want to learn. Here's the way I like to learn. Can you come up with a custom way to teach me that in the next 15 minutes, quiz me on it, and keep doing that cycle until I've got it. And it'll do that. So it could help with that. If she gets bored, she could go to Midjourney and do all sorts of creepy medical images. Or even non-creepy ones. But it is an incredible of knowledge that sits underneath that simple URL is quite profound. So these three URLs here are all different places that you can play with ChatGPT. The top one's the official ChatGPT website. This one at the bottom here, prompts.chat, that is a really good primer to teach you about prompting, how you talk to these things, because how you talk to these things is really different than how you talk to Google. So if you're playing around on this and can't quite figure out what to do, go to that prompts.chat thing, look at that document. It'll teach you about prompting, and then it gives you a bunch of personas that you can tell ChatGPT to act like a certain kind of thing, like act like an educator who's a test prep person for medical school, and it will start acting like that and get really good at it. So hopefully that helps. But that should, that's at least a start for her to start playing with it. And quite frankly, I mean, she could probably learn some things or get some coaching from ChatGPT around interacting with patients. It depends. I don't know quite what she's learning and studying. But there's some stuff there to play with. Buffering. I know, I've got crappy internet. Thanks, Comcast. You suck. Xfinity, gig internet. It's a lot of money, and it never works. Y'all played with the new Threads? You played with Threads, the new Twitter competitor from Meta? I installed it. I don't know what's going on with it. I mean, it just looks like simple Twitter. What is the Nova app? I have it. I don't know. Let me go look. Here we come to save the day. All right. Nova AI. I assume it's AI app. Yes. Nova chatbot. Nova is here for you 24/7. This AI assistant can generate human-like responses. Powered by ChatGPT and GPT-4. Scroll down. Okay. Try for free. Huh. I don't know. It looks like sort of a multi-platform ChatGPT interface. Yeah, I think this is just an alternative to ChatGPT is what it looks like. Over here, you've got some example prompts there. You've got Ask Me Anything there. Let's see. Write me a poem about quantum mechanics, like T.S. Eliot. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just an alternative to ChatGPT. Is it free? I don't know. So for my money, for my money, if I were a betting man, the official, they're the guys that invented the underlying model. That's their thing. Are there going to be apps that are better than that? There are, but the reason I would pay for that over some other app is that they're going to give me access to their newest stuff sooner than those other things will. I hear it's the devil. It's not the devil. It could be an angel. Knock, knock. Who's there? Something answered. Human can. All right. Where do we go to talk with AI? That's why this is on screen. Go to chat.openai.com. It's going to look like a Google search. Here, I will go play and show you. Let's go to ChatGPT. So here's ChatGPT. This is my chat history. I've got GPT 3.5 and GPT 4. The difference is this one's faster, this one's better. And then this one also has plugins. This one used to be connected to the internet, but they shut that shit down 2 days ago because apparently their connection to the internet was siphoning content from behind paywalls without paying for it. And apparently that pissed some people off, so they shut that down. And then this is how you chat with it. So I'll just go to the GPT 3.5, which if you're on the free version, this is what you play with, and say, make a table comparing the early days of the World Wide Web and the early days of generative AI. And it might not do too well with the generative AI because it says I've got a cutoff at September 2021. So it's probably got some older things in there. Time period, late 80s to early 90s, late 2010s to early 2020s. So, but notice that it formatted the table. It wrote it really quickly. I didn't have to do any research, go find anything. It's just there. I could also say things like, could you turn this into a Python application that asks for a year and provides stats? I don't know. That's a horrible prompt, but it understood it. Sure, here it is. Time period, main goal, user interaction, access, and connectivity. So it's writing our Python script here. Then it explains what it did, explains how to run it. When you run the application, it will prompt you to enter the technology, either World Wide Web or AI, and the year you're interested in. It will then retrieve the statistics from the corresponding CSV file and display them. Can you make a more detailed CSV file? Certainly. Here you go. And so now it's creating 1989, 1990, 1991, a whole long list of things that happened in those years. So that's chatting with AI. And the other site that I had up here, this one down below me, prompts.chat, will teach you all sorts of different ways that you can play with it like that. So hopefully that helps. As an artist that just graduated in animation, to be honest, AI is so disheartening due to the hostility. The hostility is going to fade. Every time there's a new technology, the current established people, especially with something like AI that is threatening 20, 30, 40-year careers, the hostility is going to be there. People are afraid. They're afraid of change. What I would do if I were you, so let me show you another thing. So we had one of these meetings tonight. So I created this thing called the AI Salon, and it's a community of people who are curious about AI, exploring it. There's a lot of artists in this. This used to be called the AI Artist Salon, but if you go to the salon.ai, it's a link tree. There's a meetup there, but there's also a Discord there. Join the Discord, start hanging out, start talking to people. It's a community of like-minded people. I think we've got, 550 people in the meetup, and we've got a LinkedIn community. We've got the Discord community. So surround yourself with people that are playing in this, because the people that are resisting it and afraid of it, they're at some point going to have to deal with it. They might not want to deal with it, but at some point they're going to have to. So if you don't have the energy or the patience to deal with that right now, surround yourself with people that are into this. Because, listen, this is, quite frankly, it's like the most powerful technology in the history of mankind, and it's gonna change a lot. And I think you're wise to start playing with it, and wise to be an AI literate, animator. And those that aren't are gonna I don't know, it's gonna be a rude awakening. So, jump in it. I'm there. We're there. Go, go, go. All right. So paste all the studying in ChatGPT. So Rhythm, so the way ChatGPT works, she can't paste in a tremendous amount because there's a thing called a context window. It's like a 3,000 word limit, but she could do it in little chunks. If she needs to put in a really big chunk, she can use plugins for ChatGPT that'll go look at a website and read it, or go read a PDF. Or she can use a model that allows for larger context window. I'll show you one of those. So right there, Poe.com. Let me go show you Poe. Where do I have it? Do I have it here? Here it is. Okay. So Poe.com is just like ChatGPT. You enter some stuff down here, but over on the left-hand side, you've got 6 different models here that you can play with. 3 of them are subscription only. So GPT-4, Claude Plus, and Claude Instant 100K. You have to be, paying I think it's $20 a month for Poe. But this one, Claude Instant 100K, that's got a context window of essentially 75,000 words. So that's a really long document. So she could potentially paste in, an entire, study guide or whatever it is she's studying. Just paste it in there and start interacting with it, asking it questions, having, it come up with interesting ways for her to learn and test and flashcards and all sorts of things like that. So, and this is not focusing because I didn't change my settings. Someone told me how to do that last night and I didn't do it because, ADD. Anyway, hopefully that helps. I know it's a lot. There's a lot going on with this stuff, but just have her jump in and start playing. Is it true ChatGPT is only up to date to 2021? And if so, will it be updated to 2023? So, yes. It is true that the core large language model, the base model of GPT 3.5 and 4, stops at September 2021. The reason for that is that to do those base models, it's called, the large language model, that core foundational model, is very, very time consuming, very, very manual. Like it's a lot of manual data tagging, and it's massive amounts of GPU cycles and just a lot of compute and data thrown at this thing. The way they're augmenting it is they're connecting it to the internet. So if you go to Bing.com and you click on the chat button at Bing.com, that's GPT-4, and it's connected to the internet. So if you search for something, or if you interact with chat at Bing.com, if you ask it for something more recent than September 2021, it will actually go do an internet search, pull that data in, and augment the answer with that. So that's how they're kind of updating it. The GPT-5 is being trained right now, I think, apparently. Who knows? They'll get around to it when they can. I assume that won't come out probably until end of the year or beginning of next year. That will probably be as recent as 2023, but by the time it's rolled out in full, that'll be behind as well. So it will be updated, but it's a very slow process to update those base models. Buffering. Thanks again. You're welcome. Just asking Bing Chat to describe the image of a flower, gave general answer, then a link to a florist. Just ask to describe an image of a flower. Well, you can, if you go to Bing.com, you can have it create a flower, an image of a flower. So you say, so here I am at Bing. And so when you first go to Bing.com, you're going to land on something that's kind of like a Google search, right? And it's just like a search bar. And then right up here, if you hit chat, that takes you into Bing Chat. And you can ask it to be more creative, more balanced, or more precise. And then you can say, make an image of make a photo of a sunflower bending toward the sunset. And so now it's going to actually make one. So it says, I'll try to create that. And your image is generating. And this is pretty quick. There you go. Well, those are actually pretty good. So, bending toward the sun. All right. Thank you so much for explaining that. It makes a lot of sense. I am learning a beginner level course on Coursera. That's great. And the reason I have these domains on screen is for exactly that. Like if you're just getting started with this stuff, the There's all sorts of courses out there. There's all sorts of apps. There's all sorts of people telling you should try this, you should try that, you should do this. You can make movies. You can do just go to the top one. Just go to chat.openai.com. That's ChatGPT. Start to get your head around what it can do. I mean, they're the ones that invented this thing that set off all these fireworks. Not the fireworks on July 4th. The AI fireworks where everyone's talking about it and everyone's like, it's going to take my job and it's going to kill humanity. That one. That's it right there. When you get there, it's going to be very unimpressive. It's going to look like that. It's going to look like, all right, well, what's that? It's like a Google search bar and nothing else. And then you ask it to do stuff, and it does it. And it's really something. Let's see. Create a flyer for a flower stand that only sells organic flowers to children. I don't know. Format in Markdown so I can see the sections. Boom. And, well, it didn't. It actually wrote out the Markdown code. Organics flowers for kids. I want to see the layout, not the code. That's didn't do it. I've confused it. Please format in Markdown where the design is rendered. Try it one more time. Nah, didn't do it. Anyway, it goes deep, deep, deep. And so go play there. And then if you're confused about what to put in there and what to do, go to prompts.chat, and that will teach you how to do this stuff. Can you give it access to your pictures folder and have it write ads using your images? Not yet, Silhouettes by Chris, but give it 6 months to a year. It's not quite there yet. You can, so if you go to bing.com, there's a new thing you can do in bing.com. This isn't exactly doing what you're asking, but this is kind of interesting. This is something new that I found today. I don't know how long it's been there. And someone else that I was talking to didn't have this feature. So if you go to bing.com and go to chat, you see down here in this search bar, over here on the right, there's a microphone if you want to talk, but there's also this camera icon, a picture. I can actually drag pictures in here. So let me go find a picture. Let's see. Yeah, that's a good one. Oh, no, that's an EPUB. Hang on. What's that? Oh, that's a movie. What's that? That's a movie. All right, that's good. Okay. So I'm going to drag the picture into Bing. I'm going to say, write me some copy to go with this picture that references what's in the image and gets people to buy a ticket. I've never tried this, so this might fail miserably. But it's a picture of a boat, like a big cruise ship. It says, analyzing the image, privacy blur hides faces from Bing chat. It says, how about this? Dream cruise? Have you ever dreamed of sailing on a cruise ship that can take you to places beyond your imagination? So it actually did it. Silhouette by Chris. It's not bad. It's way too long. Let me stop it from there. Good. Now make it an Instagram length copy. Dream cruise. Sail beyond your imagination. Join us for the most incredible journey of your life on a digital art masterpiece by Adobe Firefly. That's really funny. So it actually read, so there's a watermark in that image because I created it with Adobe Firefly. So in the bottom left-hand corner of that image, this is fascinating. In the bottom left-hand corner, it says Adobe Firefly Beta, image not for commercial use. So it actually read that, and it incorporated it into the ad. Explored paper mountains, origami islands, folded forest, and more. So I'm going to say, okay, the style of the art is paper, but the cruise is real. Can you make an ad that handles this in a clever way? Let's see what it does. Let's do a little copywriting here. A little GPT copywriting. Dream cruise, where reality meets fantasy. Ever wondered what it would be like to sail on a cruise ship that you can take to places beyond your imagination? A cruise ship. So again, it did it really long. Oops. Book your... Okay, I'm going to stop it there. I'm going to say, make it much shorter. Bam! Fun for the whole family. Bring your food. Ba-da-da-da. On the most magical cruise ever. Book now and make your dreams come true. Let's say you didn't reference the paper art this time. Let's see if it can piece some of that together. So one of the things you can do with these large language models is like it kind of remembers what you've been talking about. So it understands context. Bring your family on board to enjoy the activities. Play, relax, learn. Most magical. Inspired by the paper art of Adobe Firefly. That's pretty funny. All right. So wasn't perfect, but honest to God, the first thing that it did, the fact that it looked at that, saw that it was a cruise ship, and then actually wrote some copy about a dream cruise, that's pretty much there. So if your Bing chat has that icon, then you could drag your images into here and start interacting with it. All right. Thank you for doing this on a regular basis. You're welcome. My daughter found a chat with AI game on Roblox that claimed to connect to Chat GPT-4. That doesn't surprise me. I know that there's Roblox. There's a bunch of stuff with Roblox, including I saw a demo of a thing where you're going to be able to just describe a world and it will build it in Roblox. So yeah, that stuff's coming. Are retail links typical? Surprised me. If you're using Bing, retail links are probably typical because they're probably going to try to find ways to monetize your clicks. I got a hair on my glasses. All right. Having trouble having Bing on my Samsung Android to do images. Yeah, the Bing app on Android, I don't know what features it's got. I would say you can also try going to your browser on Android and see if you can do it that way. Just go to bing.com on your browser. All right. Good question, Silhouettes. I agree. That was a good question. Nice. It cited a reference. I've toyed with it a bit. AI can write pretty eloquently. It does better if you give it more context or if you give it examples. It's really good if you give it examples. What about linking to a folder in the cloud? So, not yet. Emphasis on yet. That's coming. So both Google and Microsoft have indicated or demoed that they're incorporating Bard in Google's case and ChatGPT in Microsoft's case. They're incorporating it into their Office suite. So included in their office suites are cloud storage, right? So probably before the end of the year, we will see both of those services where, within Microsoft Word or Excel or Sheets or Docs, you'll have writing assistants within there, and you'll be able to point them at Google Drives. Now, whether or not you can search across all of your data in Google Drive or just individual documents, Dropbox just announced last week that within Dropbox, you can now select any document within Dropbox and basically GPT it. And they said they're starting with single documents, and then they're going to move to multiple documents. So that's coming. If you're impatient and you're geeky, go look up a project called LangChain, and you can do that right now. You can embed your own data, throw it into what's called a vector database, and basically make your company GPT or your docs GPT. So that's possible to do right now, but you got to be a little geeky. So you could just have a little patience and wait for these big ass companies to figure this stuff out and just go, I want to point it there, and then be able to ask it questions and have it tell me stuff like, I'm super smart. Could you please do that, Microsoft? No, I don't like Microsoft. Apple, would you do that, please? And they will. But, if you ain't patient, what are you going to do? If you're wondering why I'm acting like an idiot, that's just who I am. All right. That's how she rolls here at the AI Learning Lab. Can Midjourney take an example photo and modify it for you? Sort of. And sort of. So all of the image generation and regeneration stuff is a little wonky right now, especially when you're trying to take an image and modify it. You can upload an image to Midjourney. So you basically just drag an image there. I can show you how to do it. You drag an image there, upload it to Discord, then you get a URL for it, and you can do a prompt based on an image. There's also a remix function. There's also just Adobe generative fill, where you can take an image and change it, so you could keep the core part of an image. Let me go find something here. Let me go to search. Bing search. Let's go. Fashion. Shoot. New York City. Images. All right. So we're going to go grab an image here. This one looks good. That one's good. Well, let's see. Which one do we want to get? Let's grab that one. All right, so I'm going to go copy image. So now I'm going to pop over to Photoshop Beta. We're going to create a new image. We're going to paste that in. So there's our little fashion shoot image. And now we've got Adobe's generative fill is part of the Photoshop Beta. So one thing I could do is I could say, well, this was shot in portrait, but I actually need it in landscape. So let me go make it this big. And I'm going to go on ahead and select everything but the image. And then I'm going to say generative fill, and I'm not going to put any prompt in there. I could put a prompt in there, but I'm not going to. And I'm just going to say generate. And it is going to figure out, based on the context of this image, how to fill it out. And it's going to give us 3 options. And this, in and of itself, is pretty magical. All right, so now we've got an image that looks like it's got a very weird crashed car here. Like, that's a very bizarre car. That actually looks pretty normal. And that's messed up. So we'll go with that normal one. Okay, so now we have this woman in a larger photo. But let's say she's got a black jacket there. We were actually hoping that she had on a red jacket. So I'm going to highlight the jacket. And I'm going to say generative fill, red jacket. And that will go off and do its thing. That's not red, is it? That's not red, but it's a different jacket. Well, that's kind of cool. All right, I like that one better. All right, we just changed up our fashion line. So now we're gonna do. Let's do another thing here. We're gonna do. We'll select her. I know this is painful watching an old guy use the lasso tool in Photoshop, but you know, what do you want for free? All right. So I selected her. Now I'm going to invert it. So now I'm selected everything but her. I'm going to say generative fill, and I'm going to say tropical rainforest. And it should replace this city shot with her in a tropical rainforest. We'll see how well it does. Look at that. Now she's in a rainforest with a bunch of tourists. I don't know what that oh, that one's kind of cool. So there you go. So it's possible to do what you're talking about. You can kind of do it in Midjourney. You can kind of do it in Stable Diffusion. You can kind of do it in Photoshop. All these tools are going to get much more sophisticated. But right now we're just a little early in this process. So it's going to be a little janky. It's going to be a little janky. That's a technical term from the creative business when something ain't quite right. It's a little janky. Janky. It's a little janky. All right, I've toyed with it a bit. AI can write pretty eloquently. It can. I have a large picture photo. Can I just start dumping them in Bing and see what it comes out with? Yeah. Why not? Yes. Yes, you can. I mean, what I would practice in Bing is practice getting it to do good copy, like understand how to prompt it so that it gives you the kind of copy you want. Or even better, if you say, you upload the photo and then you say, I want you to create an ad based on the contents of this photo and copy the style and tone of this ad copy that I paste in here, right? And then you paste in some ad copy in there. It'll probably do that decently well. I mean, the nice thing about Bing is it's free and you can just keep playing with it. It's intuitive. Let's see. Do you know what would cause my desktop to not load ChatGPT? My iPad and phone work fine. I've cleared cache, just a blank screen. Try a different browser. And also try. I have this. I have cache issues with some of my browsers. Go to your browser and say new incognito window or private window, and see if it does it then. And if it does it then you've got to clear your cache, clear your cookies and your cache and all that stuff. It's probably a cache issue. Yeah, that's weird. That's weird. Is there a Midjourney for Android? Midjourney, you can only generate Midjourney images in Discord. So there's a Discord client for Android. There's a Discord client for iOS. There's a Discord client for desktop. And there's a Discord website. So you can do it in all of them. But to generate Midjourney images, you have to go to... I would like to see a cool thing. Okay. So where I am right now is I'm at Poe.com. This is one of the sites that I say, go here and check this out. So at the top here, you've got the different ChatGPT models, but you also have this explore button and create bot. Poe has a lot of these things called bots, which let people create little standalone ChatGPTs that specialize. And if you go over here, the very most popular one is called Midjourney. So if you go to Poe.com/Midjourney, that takes you to this Midjourney bot. And I can now type in, let's see, photo of fashion model in rainforest. So that's a bad prompt. And then it will take that and rewrite it as a better prompt specifically designed for Midjourney. So, color photo of a fashion model in the rainforest wearing a vibrant red dress surrounded by exotic plants and flowers, ethereal and dreamlike, misty atmosphere, this kind of Fujifilm, that kind of lens, Tim Walker, Ellen von Unworth, and Peter Lindbergh. So I can now just copy this prompt that it wrote for me, and I can pop over to Discord. So here we are in Discord. So this is the AI Salon's Discord. And within here, we've got a Midjourney channel. And so here's some of the things that people have been playing with from the salon. The salon, that's French for salon. And the way you make an image in Midjourney is you type /imagine, and then it will pop up this thing to put a prompt in. And I've already got my prompt copied. And so I'm just going to paste it in there. And I'm going to hit return. And this is going to go off now and make us an image of a fashion model in a rainforest. And we'll see how it does. Midjourney, in my opinion, is the best of all of the image generation tools from a quality standpoint. Stable Diffusion is best from a flexibility and developer community standpoint. And Adobe Firefly is the best from a being able to use the images in a commercial setting standpoint. And then DALL-E, which is the underlying tech behind OpenAI and Bing, is the crappiest, but you can call it from an API really easily. So there you have it. All right, that's going off and doing its thing. Let me see if there's any other questions in here. Thank you, sir. Gonna go play with AI. Have a great evening. So long, Silhouettes by Chris. That's awesome. Is it possible on GPT to drop in a pic? Just what I showed in Bing, which is GPT. You can't do that yet in ChatGPT. Exactly, wanting to change an element in a pattern. Oh yeah, you can definitely do that. Just do that with generative fill. I wonder why that didn't. That was weird. That didn't. Normally, it will draw things. It'll sort of show it developing. But there's some of the images that Midjourney created of fashion model in a rainforest. That's pretty damn good. Midjourney's gotten so good. This is version 5.2. So there you have it. And then if you haven't played with Midjourney, there's some new features. Let me go show them to you. Hang on. Okay, so now that this is here, if you haven't used Midjourney before, hang on. Come on. Focus. Come on, people. Focus. There we go. All right. So we've got our images that were created. If you haven't used Midjourney before, you get these little things. U1 through 4, V1 through 4. If you hit any of the V's, that means variations, and it's image 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm just going to hit upscale 4. That one looks decent. So we'll grab that one. So now it's going to make a large version of this. And now there's some new features that we can play with in Midjourney that are actually quite exciting. It's quite exciting. Okay, so you see zoom out 2x, zoom out 1.5x, custom zoom, make square. This is pan left, pan right, pan up, pan down. Now, the pans are really interesting. So what we're going to do is we're going to do pan right. And what that's going to do is it's going to add image to the right. So if I do a zoom, it actually just zooms out and fills all around it. It's called out painting. What the pan does is it actually is going to move it in the direction that I want it to move. And that should be doing its thing. You can also hit custom zoom. This says zoom 2, so I'm going to do zoom 1.5, but I'm going to change the aspect ratio to 16 by 9. So I'm going to make this much wider than tall. So now I'm going to have two different variations of this. And hopefully that'll go pretty soon. So anyway, that's Midjourney. So you do that within Discord. So whatever platform you are on, do it within Discord. So here are these things. It's kind of building. It's building. You can see it's sort of blurry here. You got some image here, and it's blurry here. It's doing its thing. So that's Midjourney. All right. Moving on. I'm going to do another question or two. Oh my God. If you can text off filters, you can ask it to generate a picture of literally anything. Yes, exactly. You can ask it to make a picture of literally anything. Yes, that's what this shit's about. Like, and that's the image side. And then the word stuff, the ChatGPT stuff I'm showing here is the word equivalent of that, and the data equivalent of that, and the programming code equivalent of that. And that's what these tools are. Think of it like a creativity amplifier, where anything that you can imagine, you can now realize some version of it, like 80% of it, within seconds or a few minutes. That's awesome. Good. Awesome. It's only digital disaster. It is special. What do you think about AI image search sites like Prime Eyes? Seems like they're very powerful, but I don't know what the rest of that was. I mean, listen, the AI image search sites are fine. I don't know that one. I assume there's another one called Lexica, where you can see the actual prompt that made up the image. I think that's good. Those sites are a very good way especially if you're just getting started with this stuff. Those sites can be quite powerful for helping you understand how people do the prompting. Forgot about Discord. Yep. All right. Thanks. I'll try incognito and see if that works. Love hanging out in here. Lots of fun. Great. I love that. Heavy Midjourney user here and always struggling to get the prompt right. Yeah. The Poe Midjourney prompt. There's another one called MJ Captain, poe.com/MJ Captain. That's pretty good. Wait for the magic. Let me go see if any of the Discord stuff turned out to be magic or if it was just crap. Oh, those are pretty good. Here. Oh, yeah, there you are. Let's see. Come on. There we go. So those are the ones that I extended to the right. They all look pretty good, actually. And then this is the one that I extended out. Right, where it was a vertical photo before. And like this one's really good with this blurred out flower in the foreground, her in the background, and the big creepy tree behind her. Pretty wild stuff. It's magic, I tell you. It's magic. Arthur C. Clarke. Any significantly advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. This is fucking magic. It's magic, I tell you. It's magic. It is the dashboard to turn on or off a bunch of cool settings. Oh, wait. Don't forget to mention the settings in Midjourney. Oh, okay, I'll do. One is you can say /settings, and it will show you all of your different settings. So you've got Midjourney 1 through 5, 5.1, 5.2, raw mode, Niji version, which is like anime kind of stuff over here, stylized low, medium, high, very high, public mode, remix mode. So there's lots of different things you can do. So this kind of gives you hints on what's available. You can also do /describe. I think, do you do describe first? Yeah. So you can say describe, and now I can go find an image. Let's see. Oh, let's have it. We'll have it describe this boat one that we used. Um, that we used in Bing. So there's the boat image. So I said /describe. There's the boat image. And what it's going to do now is it's going to read that image and it's going to come up with 4 different prompts that could have made that. A cruise ship traveling in the sea at sunset by paper in the style of postmodernist culturalism. Culture, yeah, culturism. Weird word. Extremely detailed art. And the next one is photorealistic paper cut out cruise graphics in the style of Eyvind Earl, cruise ship floating on the October side. So what I can do is I can say imagine all of them. So it gives me 4 different prompts. I can now say imagine all of them. So now it's re-rendering 4 new original images, not based on that image, but based on descriptions of the image that it got from looking at the image. So this is a way that you can get very, very creative without even really having to do any prompting. Just go find images you like, have it describe what it sees, and then start to modify those prompts based on the results you're getting. So wild, wild stuff. Ooh, these look like they're going to be very cool. And if you notice how they start out really blurry, like very blurry, and then they get more and more and more detailed. That's the nature of how the technology works. It's called diffusion. So it starts as these diffused things, and then it gets more and more detailed. It does all these different denoising passes effectively. These are super cool. That one in the upper right's really cool. I'm gonna upscale that one. U2 is an upscale for that one. This one's crazy too. Huh. We'll upscale 4 there. We'll upscale 3 here. And that one's still building. Oh, that one's interesting. This one says cruise with surfer's silhouette. And it did a bunch of VW. These are VW buses instead of a cruise ship. This one has a ship in it, but these 3 are VW buses with a surfboard on it. That's wild. But anyway, there's your high-end art based on a description of an image that I uploaded. Wild, right? Isn't it crazy? Ain't it crazy? It's just cuckoo, I tell you. It's cuckoo. All right. Everything not blocked by filters. Don't know what that means. See you tomorrow night. It's 1 a.m. I'm a tad tired. Thanks for everything you do. I know I had a salon tonight, so I'm a little crispy myself. I'm gonna get out of here soon. I'll do a couple of more questions though. Midjourney is up to PG-13. Yeah, I know. You can. I think it's got some safety stuff in it, but it does look a little. It sexualizes women just because that's how the training data, does it. You can get around it, but it's a bit of a pain in the ass. PMIs, I guess it's called, will show you any image that's been linked to a website that is crawlable. Oh, I don't know that that's AI. I think that's just a search engine, isn't it? Things like Lexica are actually showing you AI generated art. The implications are wide ranging. Yes, many, many and deep implications. Suggestion for a way to add a few big, bold words within my my Midjourney prompt. Just add them in there. Or take your Midjourney prompt over to ChatGPT and say, fill this full of fancy words. Or go get some documentation for how Midjourney, for the different parameters you can put in a Midjourney prompt. Paste that into ChatGPT and then paste in your Midjourney prompt and tell it to improve it based on, by adding some of those things up above. I was going to say, but these image searches aren't well known by Joe Public. Do you recommend buying the annual membership to any AI programs? I do not, because everything's changing so fast right now. Even though you might save the 20%, you might be buying a year's worth of a service that's obsolete in 2 months. So I would do it month by month. I mean, the only one I could potentially justify for myself would be chat.openai.com, the top one right there. But even that, like, Google at some point is going to have some competitor to GPT-4 that's going to be good. Anthropic's going to have something that's going to rival it pretty soon. I would be really surprised if Meta didn't get their shit together pretty soon. So there's just too much moving too fast right now that for me to put an annual bet on almost anything. I see a lot of people doing kids coloring books. Yep, with numbered sections. Yep, saves money, and they're selling them. I was saying that Midjourney will do anything, but filters block a lot. Oh, I see. Yeah. Well, and if you want to, if the filters are driving you crazy on Midjourney because of the safety stuff, go start playing with Stable Diffusion. There's open source and there's a massive developer community there. Go to the subreddits, the Stable Diffusion subreddits, and start geeking out on Stable Diffusion, and you can go do all the adult content you want. Would love to see Midjourney hooked up to ChatGPT. It will be. It'll get there. Thanks again. You're welcome. You can have one AI improve the work of another. You can, and that's going to increasingly be what happens. Listen, everybody, thanks for hanging out with me. I just did a short little session tonight. I got to go. It's late. It's 11:12 here in Denver, Colorado. But we're ready. The first 3 will let you play with ChatGPT. The prompts thing will teach you about prompting. And then Futurepedia.io is just a big directory of lots of AI tools. So if you want to geek out and run down some rabbit holes, do it there. Thanks, everybody. Peace out.